In the Survivor series, How Do You Survive Beyond Enemy Lines? There's a number of principles, and this is also one of those principles, I think. It is your ability to innovate. And with that I simply mean not so much as in creativity that we continuously seek for new ideas, but innovation is more what do you do to improve what you have as you get going to get the job done and get your target and execute. And I think it's a principle, and I think there's a trap there that we all step into. I'm going to use a metaphor to explain. So there's a bridge, under the bridge is water. I want the water to be clean. So when I do the task and I stand on the bridge and I look down, then I'm there. And I can see that it's working, and I can see that it's good. But in business, as an example, we don't see that. We work and we analyze and we assess and we measure and we fight and we replan and we try again. And then 3 months later, we sit in a quarterly meeting. We look at the numbers, the performance numbers, and guess what? They don't look good. So that meeting is not when you stand on the bridge busy executing. That meeting is 3 months after you were on the bridge. And now you look at it and it doesn't look good. Now just put yourself in the space of a special forces operator who wants to deploy beyond enemy lines. The special forces operator don't sit in a quarterly 3 months after the work or the operation was done on that particular day, and now reflect on what happened and look for somebody to blame and criticize, and now realize we didn't make it and the numbers doesn't look good and we did not achieve our objective. And now we try to figure out how will we now change what is still to come because of that experience. Well, it can't work like that. That's the stupidest thing you can do in life. But that's what we all do. We go down the water, it's already not clean, it doesn't look good, and then 3 months later we look for somebody to blame or somebody to hurt in that process. I've been there. What a waste of time. So what does this metaphor say? What this metaphor is saying is that for the special forces operator, on the day, the water needs to be clean as best as I can. If I don't get this right, then I will not have the better outcome. And this operator is smart enough to understand that you cannot change and will not change the behavior of the team or the people in the unit if you try to manage it downstream 3 months later. You cannot use the numbers of the performance that we achieved 3 months down the line to change people. How can I say it? It doesn't work. So the operator is smart enough to say, when I look down to the water under the bridge, this is as best as I can get it. It's already clean. And if I want to change that, if it's not clean, if it's not good, I have to go upstream. I have to go not downstream as we do with the quarterlies. I have to go upstream. And innovation, bottom line, here's the message. Innovation happens upstream. It doesn't happen downstream. I've sat in quarterlies of big businesses for 3 days in a row, and I can tell you now, there's no creativity there. Nothing. Just a lot of sad faces. But when you operate, when you're busy doing the work, and you want to have the better outcome, you will have to go upstream and then innovate what is still to come. Then you figure out what measures you need to improve. What is it you're doing upstream to give you the better outcome? So this continuous spiral of going up and then from planning to how you organize yourself, how you motivate and inspire, how you execute, how you control, how you measure, all of that is happening upstream. That's how we do it. And we simply do it because we believe differently than most other businesses and people. We don't believe that there's innovation downstream in a task so important that you're willing to give your whole life for it, and you know that if you fail, you know it's not good. And you know that it's possible to fail, and you might not be able to come back and celebrate with your team. So innovation and what we measure is upstream. And that in itself is a creative exercise, because we're not used to that, are we? Now, go back to business. What we sometimes do is we look downstream at the numbers, and then we put in a system. There's many examples. Performance management or KPIs is a good example. And then we write the new KPIs to see if we can fix those numbers downstream. Well, now you're wasting time. Now you're seriously wasting time. If you want to change people's behavior, therefore give them new KPIs, or maybe a different appreciation of that performance contract, you have to go upstream also. Because the upstream indicators for performance is totally different from what you look at if you go downstream. Here you look at what you need to do in order to be able to be successful, so by the time the water gets to the bridge, it is all clean and it's actually thumbs up, it's working. And those KPIs and those performance management contracts, they're different. In this contract, downstream, it's about your own survival. In this one, it is not about your own survival. It is about getting the job done as good as you can. It's about getting the team to be able to support you so that we can get the job done as good as we can. This is about me fighting back. This is about me running. This is about you becoming creative in what can you still do to be able to support others. So by the time the execution is happening, it's actually pretty smart. Now I can carry on this topic for maybe hours, so I'm just going to stop here. I just want you to think about this. It's one of the things that I've been facilitating in business more lately than any other time in my life, is how do we take the energy in the business upstream and not downstream? And the reason, because we know that is the more innovative space. That's where innovation happens. And it's I always end these clips by saying, you know, smoke this in your pipe, but this one, you have to smoke in your pipe. You don't need the quarterlies, by the way. You can prepare those numbers and send it off to your shareholders and let them look at it and maybe spend half an hour on it. It's water under the bridge. Nothing is going to change because of that. You might get fired, but nothing is going to change. That's not the work. We sit for hours and days in meetings trying to manage what is downstream. What absurdity is that? Push it up. Push it up. Everything change. Your performance contracts will change, your KPIs will change, your meetings will change, in certain operations, your operational room dynamic will change. Everything change if you go upstream. And that becomes the new work. That is the new work. But it's got to do with a mindset. And if you see it, you'll never go back to old ways again. It's amazing how these things work, is it not? But anyway, smoke that one in your pipe. I've been smoking it for a few months. It's good. It's really good.